dark. I like the dark. I love the dark. But I hate nature. I hate nature. Wait a sec! Oh! Stop! I'm just a kid!
What seems to be the problem?
Look, mister, I need a ride. My friends and I just had a run-in with these really disgusting people. You might have heard of them, the Fratellis. Well, we found their hideout. And could you please take me to the sheriff's station? I can describe all three of them.
Bimba dagli occhi vieni da Maria, a questo di ficciolo, di salavinciolo, di tua mamma. What the hell are you doing? He's only a kid. Can't you handle a kid even?
I was signed to do Rambo 2. I was already booked for Rambo 2. I was 32-inch waist, 22-inch arms, working out. I was supposed to go in and save Sly from the mice in the jungle there. And when the agent called up and said, Spielberg and Donner want to meet you. I go, on what? On a new film. I said, but I'm doing Rambo. He says, well, let's see if you get it. The script, go in and meet them. And what's it called? Goonies. I go, Goonies. I'm doing Rambo 2. Rambo was the biggest film of the time, remember? First Blood. Now, Goonies? What the hell is a Goonie? And anyway, but Donner and of course Spielberg. So I go into Warner Brothers and they paired me with Joey Pantoliano. And Joey and I were friends and we had done things before anyway. And we always had this little sibling rivalry together, the two of us. And they dug the chemistry between the two of us, and then we wind up doing Goonies. Now, the way the script is written, I have an original script from 1984 that's serialized and everything. So it shows exactly what I improvised and what was in the script, which was written by Chris Columbus. I don't know if you know that, who did all the Home Alones and also Harry Potter. So Jake Fratelli, originally in the script, Francis was supposed to feed Sloth. But they changed it over for me to feed Sloth. Now, the way it is he puts the food down, and as Sloth goes to reach for the food, with my foot, I move it away, and I taunt him. So it's very sadistic. And I said to them, this is very banal. I says, what if Jake is a frustrated singer, and the only one he can sing to in the basement? The mother won't listen to him, Francis, but Sloth will listen to him because he gets fed if he listens. So they says, well, try it. Let's see it. I do it. And then I was able to, of course, then out of the frustration. So it wasn't just banal. And I made it about a guy that wanted to sing. And when Sloth starts to scream at a certain point, that motivates me. See, you're just like Mom and Francis. Here you go. You want a food? Here's your food. Here's your feast. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. And that was all improvised. And then they loved that. And we then peppered it through. The other thing that wasn't in the script was when I speak Italian. Mama, questo no es ristorante. I wrote that stuff out because I figured we didn't want to tell the kids. I wanted to speak in a different language so the kids wouldn't understand us. And that was put in. And also the pizza moment, when Joey and I are throwing pizza at each other. That was from my cousins. Let's kill each other over the pepperoni. That scene I used to see, monthly at my cousin's house. My cousin Johnny and George. And then the other thing that was interesting in that was and Stephen did all the second unit shooting for 5 months. And he shot the opening sequence where Francis I escape from jail and Francis puts the gasoline around the car. Now, the way that's written is they're supposed to take one of our counterfeited dollar bills and then light that and then throw that to the gasoline. Well, it was windy, so it wasn't landing on the gasoline. And after the fourth attempt, I said to Stephen, and Joey hates when I tell this story for some reason. I said to Stephen, Raiders, what? Let him use his gun, the spark of the gun. Let him shoot the thing and it'll go at night. And we did that. And this is collaboration. Film is collaboration. Great directors are open to collaboration. And the line in the original script was, which was a key to Jake for me, because don't forget, I knew this was a children's film or about kids, and I wanted to be a big kid. I didn't want to be just a villain that was. So I had to find a way inside to create a certain kind of empathy for Jake, humanize him a certain way. And how am I supposed to work with this Smithsonian piece of garbage is the line. But I said, how am I supposed to create with this Smithsonian piece of shit, meaning he wanted to be an artist as a counterfeit. So that was the cue to that all. Anyway, there are other things like that, but it was a wonderful time. Donna was fabulous. The cast was great. Spielberg was great. Frank Marshall did third unit. It was a terrific experience.
All right, so Sloth was Rick Matuzak. John. So Sloth was John Matuzak.
Yes.
Now, a friend of mine who played with him on the Raiders tells a great story, and I want one out of you. But he said basically they pull up for the Super Bowl and the coach gives them the speech. Don't go out after curfew. Don't fuck around. Don't make a mess of this town. Don't destroy it. Don't get hammered. I want you guys in bed. I want you guys rested. Biggest game of your life tomorrow. Next morning, they get on the bus for the stadium, and Matuzak's not on it. And Matuzak's not in his hotel room. And Matuzak is MIA. And so the bus rolls out, but Matuzak comes running up, exhausted and disheveled. It looks like the guy just crossed the border, under a barbed wire entanglement from Mexico. And he gets on the bus, and the coach just goes nuts and goes, I told you not to do anything crazy. I told you not to be crazy. I told you not to act crazy. I told you not to tear this town up. Look at you. Look at what you've done. I told you not to go out there. And he's like, I had to go out there, man. I had to go out there. I had to go out there to make sure none of you went out there. It's just one of those moments where the guy was gold. But did you get along with him pretty well? I mean, he was
Yeah, he and I got along very well.
Yeah.
The funny part about John is, because he had that prosthetic on. Yeah. I used to tease him a bit because he couldn't eat. He had to sip through a straw, much like on Maniac Cop 2 and 3. The guy that played Maniac Cop, Robert Zadar, I used to tease him because of the prosthetic they couldn't eat. So I would have a slice of pizza or a hamburger. This is good as they're sipping the straws. I would tell him. But Matuzak, one time we were fooling around, and he was a big guy. I'm 6'3", and I was in shape and everything. He just flicked me like I was a piece of straw. He was that big and powerful, and knew how to manipulate all of that.
Right.
I knew his ex, and shame that he passed.
Yeah, it is.
No,
hey,